About 3 years ago to the day, I tried to play it cool and not really let her know that I was super excited also. I just knew it was a natural fit. I remember riding home from that first date and thinking this is going to be it.
So many people tell you how you should feel or how you're going to feel. It is a little bit of an out-of-body experience. I'm excited to finally have this moment with him and make it official.
Lost a shoe. Love you, hon.
I love you. Thank you. All right.
Will everybody please rise? Will everybody please rise? You may be seated. I want to start with thanking everybody for being here, family and friends this afternoon who have traveled good distances to be here. So welcome. And we're here to celebrate the union of Jeanette Marie Davis and Alexander Simpson Horsfield. All of your relationships have been highly impactful to these two, and I know that they feel it's only fitting that you're here to celebrate with them. Before we proceed, let's take a moment to remember family members who cannot join us here today, but we know that they join us here under this magnificent tree in spirit and also in our hearts. Jeanette Davis, Eugene Malavy, Ellis Davis, Robert Horsfield, Grace Horsfield, then Geralaman, Jack Geralaman, and Chris Connolly. These were relationships also very important to Jenna and Alex. I'd like to express a special welcome to the grandparents that are here today. First, Alex's grandmother, Dorothy Eschenbach. We call her Dot. We're sorry George was unable to make the trip, Dot, but I know that we're all glad, and especially Alex, to have you here joining us this afternoon. So welcome. And a special welcome, too, to Jenna's grandmothers, Marie Malavy and Rose Lee Davis. Welcome.
Thank you.
I know it means a lot to Jenna for you all to be here today. So now, Jenna and Alex, this is the beginning of a new frontier in your relationship. It's the marker and a milestone where you make a deeper commitment together, to one another. You come here today continuing to build a lifelong bond forged in the foundation of trust, respect, mutual faith, and love. Accordingly, let's start and confirm right now that it is in fact your intention to be married today. Jenna, do you come here freely and without reservation to give yourself to Alex in marriage?
I do.
So then, Jenna, will you then have Alex to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I will.
to live together in the holy state of matrimony? Will you love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, will you keep only unto him as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Alex, do you come here freely and without any reservations at all to give yourself to Jenna in marriage?
I do.
Alex, will you then have Jenna to be your lawfully wedded wife, to live together in the holy state of matrimony? Will you love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, will you keep only unto her as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Who is it then that gives this man and this woman today to be married?
We do.
This occasion is a special celebration for the parents who brought Alex and Jenna into this world and then nurtured and led them into adulthood. Bob and Lynn, Mike and Janice, today you're witnessing another stage in the lives of your son and daughter. Your continued support and encouragement will be needed as Jenna and Alex unite in marriage. So then, Mr. and Mrs. Davis, Mr. and Mrs. Horsfield, will you try with all of the love and wisdom that you can command to support this newly married couple?
We will.
And now I'm going to ask Alex Lubert, close friend of Alex, don't call me David Horsfield, to come and read for us the Canticle of Love, which is from the United Methodist Hymnal.
Let love be genuine and live in harmony. Hate what is evil, hold fast to what is good. Outdo one another in showing honor. Be humble and never conceited. Love is stronger than death, and jealousy is cruel as the grave. Floods cannot drown love, and wealth cannot buy it. Put love above all else. Let Christ's peace rule your hearts. Always be forgiving, as Christ has forgiven you. Love is not jealous or boastful, arrogant, rude, or stubborn, irritable, resentful, or possessive. Love is patient and kind. Do not love in word or speech only. Love also in deed and truth. Receive each other in sincerity, find mercy, and grow old together.
Thank you, Alex. And now, as Andrea Hershelman, Jenna's close friend, prepares to come forward for the second reading, let's just take a moment to reflect on the words that we've just heard. Our second reading will be from the book of Ruth. Andrea?
A reading, is it on? Okay. A reading from Ruth 1, verses 16 and 17. But Ruth said, "Do not urge me to leave you or to return from following you. For where you go, I will go, and where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord do so to me, and more also, if anything but death parts me from you."
Thank you, Andrea. Well, this is the time that I have, and Jen and Alex asked me to keep it to no more than 30 minutes, so I'm going to try the best I can. I remember a early Saturday morning, probably some 30 years ago now, answering the front door of our home in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, to be greeted, and we were expecting them to be greeted by Bob and Lynn and Alex and Rob. And Alex was just 2 years old, maybe 2.5, I don't know, but walking pretty well. And along with his older brother Rob, they began to have a great time retrieving some extra flagstones left by the builder. That's a memory that sticks in my mind because it was the beginning of a relationship. Bob and I had been colleagues at the bank for a while, but this was the beginning of a set of relationships between Bob and Lynn, and Rob and Alex and my wife Kathy and our son Todd and me too, of course, for many, many years to come. So 30 years later, and just a few months ago, you might imagine my surprise and joy when I listened to a voicemail from Alex greeting me with, in quotes, "Things I've done bad today." Of course, he really hadn't done anything bad that I knew of. But he was just reminding me and us of a disciplinary tool used by Bob and Lynn and maybe the school teachers too, where Alex was required to list the things that he had done bad that day to help him remain accountable for his actions. I'm not sure where those journals are right now. You might want to find them. And I'm not sure that Alex is keeping up that discipline as we speak, but it might not be a bad idea. Anyway, I think it stuck. And now that I've had the chance to meet Jenna, I can see clearly between them their intense desire to remain truly accountable. Accountable to themselves and now to each other in this covenant of marriage. And so it's a true joy for me to be here with Jenna and Alex and to be part of this wonderful day and this wonderful celebration and to be surrounded by their friends and family, those who care so deeply for both of you. I consider it a true honor and a real privilege. And it's a memory that I'll have forever, so thank you. After the service today, I'm going to sign this. It's a marriage certificate. You went and picked this up on Friday, I think, after you went through the application process the day or a few days before. And everyone who has been officially married in Charleston County needs to have one of these. I don't know if they all do, but they're supposed to. Some folks have it nicely framed and hanging in their home somewhere to help them remember, and others keep it along with other important legal documents in a safety deposit box or a safe somewhere. I want to tell you a secret, though, just between the three of us. Regardless of what you do with this piece of paper, that's all it is. It's a piece of paper. This piece of paper is not a marriage. In fact, everything we're doing today is not a marriage. The two of you are. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a wonderful and glorious day in celebration. Beautiful weather, beautiful setting. It just doesn't get any better than this. And it's wonderful to be here with all these people who are going to witness your vows and commitments to one another. But as wonderful as it is to be here, don't get it confused. This is a marriage ceremony and a wedding, and not really a marriage. What makes a marriage is what's going to follow after this. Even this evening, tomorrow, the next day, the next week, month, years, decades. That's what's going to make a marriage. In John's Gospel, Jesus shares these words with his disciples and with us. He said, "No one has a greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." Or, more eloquently, I think, in the King James Version, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." Now, Jen and Alex, most likely and hopefully, you will never be asked to give up your life for each other. But you are going to be required to give up yourself to each other. So marriage is not a piece of paper, it's a gift. Today, Jenna, you're going to give yourself to Alex. And the same for you, Alex. You'll be giving yourself to Jenna. You're going to give rings to each other as a symbol of this giving, as a symbol of your solemn vow. Vows before us, the assembly here, and God. And you will give yourself body, soul, and mind and spirit to each other as a gift. And far more precious than the rings you're going to exchange. Marriage is a gift from God. It's a gift of yourself. It's a gift of your life. And it's not just for today. It's for every day from now on. You must always and continuously be giving yourselves to one another, because that's really at the core of what the marriage is. So it means letting go of petty things, like who's right and who's wrong, because in the end it just really doesn't matter. It means putting each other first, their wants, their desires, their happiness ahead of your own. It means, Jenna, that Alex's happiness is more important than yours. Before you smile too much, Alex. It means that Jenna's happiness is more important than yours. And this is a marriage. That's the crux of what Jesus is saying in the Gospel of John 13 when he gives his disciples a singularly new commandment, to love one another. For if we are commanded to love one another and our neighbors broadly, how much more are we commanded to love one another in marriage? It's also what the Apostle Paul means when he says and tells us to be clothed in love. In Colossians 3:12, Paul says, and above all these, put on love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony. An excellent goal. This is what it means then to become one flesh forever joined together. You each are the wedding gift that you give to one another. And your marriage is the gift of continuing forever to give yourselves to each other. Now a warning comes at this point. It must be both of you. And it must be a decision you continue to make every day. And with that gift intentionally given to each other, with that shared love, I know that you'll have a marriage that will last through the ages forever. Therefore, treasure the memories that are created here today. They're wonderful. In the spirit of love and commitment. And take care of this marriage certificate, however you do so. And keep it close. But remember that neither the ceremony nor this license, as important as they are the marriage. Yes, you are getting married, and the marriage starts now. And you two are the marriage starting now and continuing forever. Jenna and Alex, we're about to undertake the most important and solemn of all that we do this evening. More important than the dresses, the venue, the food, the party, and sheer joy of this event. Why is it so important? Well, it ties back to what I said a moment ago. Here is where the marriage begins, as you give each other yourselves in a love that bears all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. So I invite you to come and begin this adventure of your marriage by declaring your vows to one another in the presence of God and in the presence of these people here today, knowing that in God's presence your marriage begins. So I'll ask you to face one another, look at one another, take each other by the hand. And Jenna, first, please repeat after me. I, Jenna, take you, Alex, to be my lawfully wedded husband.
I, Jenna, take you, Alex, to be my lawfully wedded husband.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
For better, for worse.
For better or for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer or for poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Till death do us part.
Till death do us part.
Amen. Alex, it's your turn. Please repeat after me. I, Alex, take you, Jenna, to be my lawfully wedded wife.
I, Alex, take you, Jenna, to be my lawfully wedded wife.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
For better, for worse.
For better, for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer, for poor.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Till death do us part.
Till death do us part.
Amen. Now we're going to symbolically take these vows by way of a salt ceremony. We can see a symbol of the inseparable idea in this ceremony of your vows and your marriage union. From earliest times, salt has been known as a preservative and purifier that prevents decay and corruption. It is eternal, enduring, never changing, and abiding forever. It is the very symbol of God's character and reliability. And the term covenant of salt is indicative of the everlasting nature of the covenant relationship between the children of God and their Creator. Entering into a covenant of salt means binding yourselves to one another in utmost loyalty and truthfulness, even suffering death rather than breaking the covenant. For this very reason, a covenant of salt is never done lightly or haphazardly and deserves serious respect. Jenna and Alex, today you join your separate lives together. The two separate bottles of salt that are here on the table symbolize your separate lives, separate families, and separate sets of friends. They represent all that you are and all that you ever will be as an individual. They also represent your lives before today. As these two containers of salt are poured into the third container,
Can we get it all?
your individual containers of salt no longer exist, but will be joined together as one. It will be impossible forever to get that salt back out into those cups the way it was. We read in Mark's gospel, so now they are no longer two, but one flesh. And just as these grains of salt can never be separated and poured again into the individual containers, so with God's grace will your marriage be.
I stole it.
Your wedding rings are yet a further outward and visible sign of the inward and invisible bond which unites you both here before us today. Bob, would you please give Jenna's ring to Alex? Alex, place this ring on Jenna's finger and repeat after me. Jenna,
Jenna,
I give you this ring.
I give you this ring.
It is symbolic of my love for you and my commitment to you forever.
It is symbolic of my love and commitment to you forever.
Bob, would you please give Alex's ring to Jenna?
It's gonna be tight.
Jenna, place this ring on Alex's finger and repeat after me. Alex,
Alex,
I give you this ring.
I give you this ring.
It is symbolic of my love for you and my commitment to you forever.
It is symbolic of my love for you and my commitment to you forever.
It's not going.
Okay, so let's close in prayer. Bless this marriage, O God, as Jenna and Alex begin their married life and embark on their journey down this road together. We and they don't know what lies ahead, but we do believe that in your sovereignty you do know each inevitable turn and bend. And so we ask for your measure of love, mercy, and grace along the way in all things. Please bless and keep their spark of joy alive, that same spark and enjoyment as when they first met, and as we've seen here today. Give them the wisdom and humility to learn from each other, along with the strength to nurture one another and to grow in spirit, mind, and heart. Help them to build a home with their love for one another and the foundation for peace and stability so that their children can thrive and grow in that very love. Today, please turn that spark of joy now into a torch of love so that in and through you, O God, Jenna and Alex might share the light of love with their family, and yes, to their children and their children's children, forever and forever. Amen. Right after Christ declares that they are no longer two but one flesh, he goes on to command, "What therefore God has put together, let no man put asunder." Because Alex and Jenna have consented together to holy wedlock and have witnessed the same before God and this company, and have given and pledged their loyalties to one another, and have evidenced this by giving and receiving of rings and joining hands, by the power that is vested in me, I now pronounce that Alex and Jenna are husband and wife. Let the marriage begin. Alex, you may kiss the bride. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce Mr. and Mrs. Horsfield.
Are you guys here to have a good time? All right, well, we are here to have a good time. And it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. and Mrs. Horsfield. We have a welcome message from the father of the bride.
Well, here we are. Was that one sweet wedding or what? Thanks to Dennis for his kind words, wise words, and it was just great. I really appreciated that. I want to welcome everyone here. I know you all came from a long way off, but so did we. You kind of wonder why Charleston, South Carolina. And my daughter Jenna kind of fell in love with this city the first time she visited. She's an interior designer, and or has a major in interior design, not decorating, design. We have a very, very good friend, Deb Ollendorf, who is the holder of our Southern Hearts. And she lives here and has been a great hostess for us in our visits. And Alex's mom and dad, of course, have a beautiful home on Kiowa Island. So it was just a natural thing. And I'm so glad we did it. I was a little, curious, but it all has worked out. It's been a race, it seems as though, and here we are at the finish. So it's time to have a good time, and I'm going to try to. I'm kind of a tight guy, but maybe we'll get a little loose. Who knows? I want to say thank you to a few people. Caroline is the wedding planner. She's done a fantastic job, and is my new idol. So thank you so much, Caroline. I've had the pleasure of meeting many of the Horsfield clan, and a finer group of people could not be found. So, Jenna and Alex, I want you to look around this room right now. This is your support group. These people care about you. I was watching them during the ceremony, and they were hooked up and they were listening. This was a big deal. So this is your group, and I'm so proud, so proud. So, Alex, one piece of advice. There are 6 magic words in a happy marriage. They are as follows. Yes, dear. I'm wrong. You're right. Remember those and you'll be just fine. So, anyway, I'm going to hand this off to Big Bob. And let's have a good time.
Okay, first and foremost, what we need to do is raise our glass to Mike and Janice. What a spectacular wedding, what a great party. Mike and Janice, you couldn't have made this any nicer. Thank you so much. And secondly, I'm going to tell a little story. This is kind of about mother's intuition. All right, and maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but Alex and Jenna have known each other for exactly 3 years, right? Within a week or two. And it was about 2 weeks after Alex and Jenna were together that Alex brought Jenna to the Algonquin member guest dinner party where Lynn met her for the first time, where we both met her for the first time. And an hour into it, Lynn looked over at our dear friend Andrea Lubert, who's sitting over here, and said, "I want her to be mine." So the beauty of this story is that Janice had already been planning this wedding for about a week. So with that, I'd like to raise my glass to Alex and Jenna and wish you all the love and happiness in the world. We're very proud.
I'll be repeating myself, but I just have to say how delighted Kathy and I are to be here and to be part of this celebration with Jenna and Alex. And what a joy it has been to get to know Mike and Janice and Jenna and the family. And of course, we've known the Horsfields for well over 30 years. So let's bow our heads and pray together tonight. Oh God, our Father, the great creator of this beautiful setting and all that it is, the Lord of life and love, we give you thanks for all of your goodness, for the abundance of food this evening, the abundance of family and friends around the table, the abundance of laughter and love. We pray that this meal might be a time to nourish our bodies and to nourish strong relationships. We pray, of course, for Jenna and Alex, that the love they share today will flourish and grow. May they continue in your joy and strength. May they bless their families as their families have blessed them. And may all of us who participate in this celebration carry your joy and love with us as we move forward. For you, O God, are the source and ground of all being. Amen. Amen.